What's going on, everybody? This is James with another Borderless video, and today I want to talk about disappearing. And before I get into it, I'm going to play this video from Tax Free Tour. If you haven't watched the movie, I'd recommend it. It definitely has kind of the air of, they're trying to demonize people that in saving taxes and offshore strategies and stuff like that. But it's an interesting movie, anyways. But here's one clip about disappearing.
So, if I would be a billionaire and I don't want to pay tax, what do I do?
If you're a billionaire, you don't have any contact with money at all. You may have some special issued black credit card that you can only use in an ATM in Monaco or something. But what you do is rather like the way that the criminal erases his traces. You make yourself invisible. You don't have any contact with money. This is all happening behind the scenes. Nothing has got your name on it. Yeah? You just deal with cash. You don't need to spend any money. You haven't come in any contact with it at all.
But if I want to buy my Ferrari?
You want to buy your Ferrari? Well, I don't think you're going to be doing it yourself. You're going to be going to a leasing company that's in Cayman Islands and who are going to be organising it for you. When you wake up in the morning, it's probably just outside your house. I mean, you want to disappear. If you want to, this is what you have to become almost invisible. And this is the way that you can protect yourself and keep the financial police or the tax man or the media off your back. You become a sort of non-person. You become this offshore ghostly spirit, rather like Hamlet's father.
Alright, again, because of how the video is, they're trying to kind of demonize people that are doing this strategy, but you don't have to be a billionaire and you don't have to pay no tax to think about not having your name all over the place. And so this is a good idea if you want to save yourself from liability and also to lower your tax burden. Sure, that can also help. So how do you even begin to do that? Well, there are a few things that you can do, and one of them is just looking at your footprint, online and legally, and thinking about that. So do a search, do a Google search for yourself. Where do you show up? Is your home address out there all over the internet? You definitely need to take a look at that. Also, your credit reports, and legally think about your driver's license and all this type of stuff. You're going to think strategically about where your tax residency is, where you're living, and all this type of stuff. Then obviously you need to think about where's your driver's license, where the government has as your address, and what your phone number is, all this type of stuff. So how can you do that? Well, there's things called traveling mailboxes. There's other kinds of online voice over IP lines that you can get. If you can avoid having a personal number at all, then that'd be great. As far as your home address, you want to have that strategically to where your tax residency is and not your home address. Okay, so that can be a lot of different ways that you can have that set up, but you don't want to have your home address you want to have it on as little as possible. All right, and all your assets need to be in companies. You don't need to be owning your assets personally, and so definitely there's different LLCs in the States that you can set up. There's anonymous LLCs, and you'd be surprised how many millionaire real estate investors and all that, they rent. That's you want to rent where you're living. You want to live in a place that is you probably want to get a good rent, and you can do that. If you like to travel a lot, you can just live on Airbnb and have all these different assets, or however you want to set it up. But that's something you should definitely think about, is having your assets in trusts, LLCs, and without your personal name on it. I would also say that if you can, avoid personal social media accounts. It's hard to do in this day and age. I know I have them, but if you can avoid having social media accounts, then that's great. And even a personal cell phone, and that's great. If you want to try to be as much of a non-entity or as a ghost as you can, then there's reasons to be like that, and that's what you want to start thinking about. And it's like that old Rockefeller saying, own nothing and control everything, right? And so you want to try to keep your assets and things like that in these entities, and have yourself kind of not, as far away from them as possible. And there's lots of different strategies and complicated ways to do that, but I just thought I would introduce the idea to people. If you want some help with doing this kind of thing, then go to borderlessblog.com. Get on the mailing list. If you want to schedule a call with me, I can talk to you about it, and I'm sure that I can help you out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and talk to you later.